Well, it's finally here. Premiere Pro 2026 is available to download and update, and in this video, I'm going to be going over the new features inside the latest version. But if you're new here, hi, I'm John the Video Guy. I make video editing tutorials inside Premiere Pro, so if you want to learn more inside the software, there's several tutorials on my channel. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for future videos. But for now, let's check out and see what's new inside Premiere Pro 2026. Alright, so I'm inside Adobe Premiere Pro 2026, and one of the new and long-awaited tools is the new masking tool. So no longer can you actually click on a clip and go inside opacity and make a mask. You now have the new object mask tool inside your tools bar. So if you click and hold down on this new tool, you have 4 different options. You first have object mask tool. This is great for rotoscoping subjects and tracking them inside your timeline. The other 3 options are for normal mask creation. So you can use these as if these tools were originally inside effects controls. So if you just wanted to create a simple rectangle mask or draw a mask inside the timeline, you can use these tools. But let me first show you the object mask tool. So with this selected and your clip selected in your timeline, you can easily hover inside the program monitor over your subjects and click once to make a selection. You can see Premiere Pro uses AI to automatically detect and create a boundary around your subject. Then inside the effect controls, you can see that it's automatically applied to my opacity layer. This is because I had the opacity selected when I clicked on my subject inside my program monitor. But let's say if I didn't have opacity selected and I had my object mask tool and clicked once, it's added to the unsigned masks area of effect controls. Now you can add this mask to either the opacity by clicking and dragging or copying and pasting, or you can also add it to an effect as well. So one real world example for this is, let's say if we wanted to rotoscope our subject out and put text behind her. I'm going to show you how you can do that. So for now, what I'm going to do is actually delete this mask and make sure my playhead is at the very beginning of my timeline. Then I'm going to select the tool and select my subject, and you'll notice that you have this tracker option here. You can click on the Track Select Mask Forward button, and Premiere Pro will automatically track the mask forward in time. You can see it's generating keyframes, and once it's done, you can see that we've tracked our subject as she moves across the screen. But now what we can do is add this to the opacity property by clicking and dragging it to opacity. You can see we cut out our subject. Now what you can do from here is duplicate this layer. So hold down Option on your keyboard and click and drag up to duplicate your layer. On the bottom layer, you can remove this mask by clicking on it and clicking delete. Then you can grab your text tool. So let's grab our text tool and add in some text, and then just click and drag this layer over the text layer. That way the text is in between your video clips. So as you can see, it makes it very easy to do rotoscoping effects inside Premiere Pro. Now I did want to take a brief moment and mention that if you are new to Premiere Pro, I recently came out with a new online course to learn the software from start to finish. It has over 6 hours of on-demand training videos to really dive deep in the software and truly understand and master the program. So if you're interested, be sure to use the link down in the video description to learn more. But let's take a deeper look inside the new masking options. So in this example, let's say if I wanted to dim down the part top of my screen and make the bottom more noticeable or brighter. Well, what you can do is use the other masking tools to mask around effects. So for example here, let's go inside Lumetri Color. I'm going to go to Color and then just dim this down a little bit. Then when I go to my new masking tools, I'm going to go to Rectangle Mask Tool and then just draw around the sky. What I can do from here is apply this mask to the effect. So I can easily just click and drag this down to Lumetri Color, and it applies this mask to the Lumetri Color effect. When we click off, you can see that we've added that mask to that effect. You can do this for any effect inside Premiere Pro. And when we click on this mask, you can see that you have similar options to any other mask in the previous versions of the software. You can feather it out, you can choose to expand it or contract it. And if you need to make additional points, what you can do is navigate to the Pen Mask tool, and inside the program monitor, make additional points if you want to make fine-tune adjustments to your mask. Now, a few other options that you can change inside the program monitor is you can click on this drop down and choose different overlay colors for your mask. If you didn't want to see your mask visible while editing, you also can turn it off by clicking on this drop down, going back to transform. And if you needed to go back, you can always click on this, or you can also click on the mask inside the effect and effect controls. Now, another new feature that came out late last year, but if you haven't updated Premiere Pro in a while, is that Adobe acquired Film Impact and added all of their effects and transitions directly inside the software. So inside Premiere Pro, if you navigate to Window Extensions, you'll notice that you have a new dashboard called Film Impact Dashboard. This houses several new effects and transitions from Film Impact directly inside Premiere Pro. And this kind of adds a lot more dynamic effects and transitions to the software compared to the original out-of-the-box effects that you usually get in the software. And what I really like in this is that they have smart tools. So if you need a specific motion tween effect or maybe a motion camera effect, you can easily add different transitions or effects to your clips in the timeline. And these effects are also located inside the effects panel. So for example here, if I marquee select these two clips and add motion camera, if we zoom in, you can see that I added a camera motion effect to this clip. You can see it zooms out. But when we click on this effect, you have a lot of different options, such as surprise me. You can choose from the defaults. You can really fine tune the effects accordingly. Now, inside the latest version of Premiere Pro, they did also clean up and recategorize all the effects inside the bins inside the effects panel. They combined the film impact effects with all the other effects inside the software. For example, they added like the bokeh blur effect inside blur and sharpen, which this is a film impact effect because if we click and drag this on, you can see it has the same similar functions, but they kind of cleaned up and categorized everything inside your bins inside the effects panel. Now you might have noticed that when I hover over those clips inside my timeline that there's new handlebars to my video clips. And now inside the latest version of Premiere Pro, you can easily click and drag this handlebar to add the default transition effect to your clip. As you can see, I just added a cross dissolve there in between these two clips. If you wanted to change this transition, you can easily just click on it, type in maybe another one. I'm going to add a wipe instead, and just click and drag this to your transition here, and you can easily change it. Now, if you wanted to change your default transition for when you actually click and drag in between these two clips, you can always right-click on a new effect and set selected as default transition. This will add that blue little outline to the effect, and now when you click and drag in between these two clips, you can see that we've changed the default transition to the wipe. So you can always do that for any effect inside Premiere Pro, depending on which effect you use most often. I'm going to go back and just reset it to the cross dissolve, because that is what I use most often. Now, one new fun effect that they added inside Premiere Pro 2026 is the ability to filter censored words. Let me show you how this works. So just to show you how this works, I changed my workspace a little bit to bring up the text panel. I have this new sequence of a former project that I worked on. But let's say if I wanted to censor out different words and either mute them or add a sound effect to them, what you'll notice inside Premiere Pro 2026 is that when you click on the filters button, you have this new censored words option. When you click on it, you can add different words that you'd like to add to censor based on the transcript. So just to show you how this works, I'm going to do video, because that is a common word that I say. You can easily click add word. You can add several words if you wish and click save. You can see that it selects them on my timeline. It shows how many times it shows up in my timeline. And to the left here, you can apply an effect. So you can automatically add a bleep, maybe mute it, or some common sound effects here, or you can also choose to add a custom sound effect. But for this case, let's have some fun and choose dog bark. You can either apply it to the single word or apply to all. I'm going to choose apply to all. As we can see, we've changed and add a dog bark to this censored word. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing. Now, if you want to make adjustments to the censored words, you can always click on the ellipses and go up to censored words list. You can make adjustments, add or remove words, and make changes in here. But that's a new fun effect that they added inside the software. Now, if you do want to read all the minor changes that Adobe updated as well, I did link an article underneath in the video description with all the small changes as well that I didn't include in this video. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. But that does it for this video. I hope it was helpful and that you found it useful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.